was a disappointing loss, and I thought but I got to commend, Central Florida. They came in ready and really did some things, made shots. When you're on the road or when you're playing anywhere, you've got to make shots, and they did that most of the game. And it was disappointing in our defense, because one of our goals was a few of our goals are to hold people to a certain percentage defensively. And once again, the three-point shot just, I thought, did us in, as well as in the paint. Both of them, they beat us in that area quite a bit. But I thought, Kevin had a good effort today. I think Jeremiah, I thought he played well, banged his hip there, but I thought for the most part, David Nickelberry came in, did a good job for us. Victor did a good job. We just didn't get much scoring out of the guard spot there, and so that's where we had trouble. Any questions?
Tubby, was there a fight between David Nickelberry and Jamal Johnson before this game, and how did it affect chemistry or their play at all today?
No, they kissed and made up. It was one of those grab each other's shirt, and they do it all the time. I told them, this fellows is going to lead to something else. They do this. I don't know what it is. It's a thing where they punch each other as hard as they can, and you see it doing it. They'll do it in walking in the door, or they do it some other time. So just a little immaturity, and so I think one was they were being serious about practice, about the shoot around. And, when you're being serious, guys are going, hey, man, it's not the time to do it. So, but that's all it was. I thought it was just a bunch of love taps. They're roommates and been good friends, so that had no effect on us.
Hey, Coach, on Friday you said you had some good practices leading up to this game, but you had inconsistency throughout the game. What needs to change for it to translate from game to practice? Well,
it's that period where where we just, I don't know, it's happening at that point in time in the game, where we're tied or we're being the game. For us, a 1-point game, where we're up 1 with 5:28. Next thing you know, we give up so we're up 2. So those are the things that that was early in the game. So I thought late in the game, you look back at the stats, it's a 4-point game. We had a bunch of lead changes. But, it's just a period there where we're not getting the stops. And, we work on that. It was a 1-point game, with 8:26. And then we give up a layup. So those are the periods during every game is happening that way. Whether it's fatigue or whether it's just a lack of concentration or just what it is. So we work on game situations, time and score, and then we never really recovered from that. From that point on, it was just it was interesting because we had. They went in the paint. They went inside. When we tried to stop them inside, they kicked it back out. We got to have execution down the stretch, and we didn't.
Rainier Thornton had arguably one of his better games of the season against Wichita State, and then he only played 1 minute today. Was there injury?
Yeah, his rib. He grabbed his rib. When he's bending over there, and he got hit in it again. And I said, so he kind of was wincing. And I thought, okay, you're okay. And he was saying, well, he was okay, but I thought we just needed the people we had in there were doing a good job at the time where we needed.
Coach, tell us what you tell the team to kind of find that inner dog down the stretch towards March and make a run in the conference tournament.
We got to find a way to it's all about execution and all about defense and rebounding. And those are 2 areas where we're just struggling to do. We're not defending the 3 or the basket. We really don't have a rim protector, so we've got to have. And then it's not so much of a help as much as guys are not making the proper rotation. So it's just a matter of them believing, having good practices. I think the mental part of it, that's what I was talking about before. We just got to have, sometimes you have to have someone come in and hear a different voice and listen to what needs to be done. I think the positive, staying positive with them is that there's a lot of games left. We got 6 games left, and we got the tournament. So so those are, if we can just convince them and believe that, hey, look, there's plenty of basketball left to play. Don't give up. Just know that we did some things better today than we did against Wichita State, and now it's a matter of just I don't know. It's a real that'll be a real challenge, but I know I'll be positive because this is the time of the year you still want to be playing and playing tough. And I thought today's game was very we played I thought we played hard. We'd always play smart, but we played hard.
Tubby, what's your impression of the mentality of your players? Are they staying positive? Are they staying focused through this skid?
Well, it's like anyone else when things aren't going good. The negative thoughts come in, of why is coach not playing me? Just the same question, why is he, why are we doing this? It's more of a why. So I'm sure they're talking among themselves about a lot of different things. I thought today we passed the ball better than we did in a few games with 14 assists. So we really did some good things there. But in the clutch, you got to have, you got to be willing to sacrifice and make those. And it all comes down to defense, a team defense, and we haven't had it all year long. Just that whole mentality, and I think the mentality has been, okay, we're gonna. Let's face it, a lot of guys really. That's not what they did at their respective schools. They just didn't defend like this, and they're not going up against this type of competition. You better be in the right spot. You better make the right rotation. You better trap hard. You better box out hard, or you're gonna get intimidated. Because once that factor comes into play, that you're not being physical, you're not being aggressive, and that's something we've kind of lacked most of the season. That physicality, and that's where, where we're still learning how to be physical. So I think it's more of, to change that mentality, we probably need to do some more physical drills.
Because if you talked before about how this year's team is different, but last year at this time the wheels kind of start to fall off. Yeah. You guys have lost 3 in a row right now. How do you kind of put the wheels back on and get ready for the stretch of the season?
Yeah, that is a point, and it's something that is. Not necessarily unique, but it's something that this time of the year most teams are playing well, and I mean they're together. And as I said before, it's just like the mentality of a player thinking he should be in there and just buying in. I mean, it's a whole, because we have a good team, we have some good players, but now they're willing to make those sacrifices. The screening part of it is something that I thought we haven't done a good job of, but today I thought we did a better job. So, yeah, I don't know what to say there, to be honest with you. It's it's one of those. Again, we've got a whole different team, a whole different set of. Now we do have 2 players that were on that team, so I think one of the things we need to do is challenge them. Hey, look, fellas, this is what we're playing for, and this is what we have to do, because they went through it last year. That's Jermario and Jeremiah.
Tubby, how is it frustrating that you've mentioned that a lot of the mistakes that are made have been made over several games. The 3-point shooting, the defense, the the rebounding the past couple games. How frustrating is it for you, and how do you manage their frustration? Because you mentioned the negative thoughts start creeping in. How do you balance all that?
Well, again, I think more team things, more, I guess, you usually have to do a lot of, I guess, talking and communicating. That's what I've always felt like when we've had stretches like this. You've got to have, as I mentioned, maybe another voice, maybe players can vent their frustration, maybe, or something like that. I mean, I think that's what you normally do. And that's what I've done in the past, to try to get them to to say, hey, what's your biggest concern? I'm asking that from the beginning of the game. What or halftime. These are the things we say we're going to try to do. Now, why aren't we doing them? Okay, what do we have to do differently? We had that second. It's a perfect example. We get a stop, they get the offensive rebound and lay it up at the buzzer at halftime to take a 2-point lead. And that's now you come back in. We're 6, 7 rebounds down. They are shooting 56%. when we just set up, put on the board. So we discuss. Okay, why? Now what do we have to change to go into the second half? What do we have to change? And didn't happen. In fact, they shot 50% in the second half too. And so.
Do you have any response to Antonio Anderson's comments from yesterday?
No, I didn't hear his comments.
He said that he didn't think you were the right person to lead the Memphis Tiger program.
Well, maybe not. A lot of people believe that. So it's something that happens in this business. It's what it is. And I've been there before. And so we try to do our best job we can, and we do it religiously, we do it consistently, and it takes time.
Coach, you have another tough game coming up Wednesday night. The last time you played SMU, they were celebrating it, after the game. And now you're talking about positioning for postseason seeding also, too. So how you drill that into your head, the importance of the next several games?
Well, I hope they realize the last time we played Southern Miss, and the guys you don't know, the guys, only 2 of them was Jeremiah and Jamal. I don't remember how it was senior night, and we got pounded by 40. And so we'll probably remind them of that. As I said before, you got a bunch of new guys that weren't a part of it. And that's the challenge. I have so many guys that really haven't experienced this level of competition. And it takes a while. It's taken all year. It's taken to this point that we're still saying, hey, fellas, this is where you have to be physical. This is how you have to be physical. This is where you have to be aggressive. And that's why I was hoping today, when you have that type of spirit or competitiveness in a practice, you think, hey, let's carry it over to the court. Not that you want to grab and hold and fight, but you want to be aggressive and physical. So, I think we just got to take it one practice at a time. We tried to, we really didn't package or really didn't talk about, listen, if we don't win this game today, fellas, this is where we are. I probably should. The fear factor would probably should be as much a motivator as anything. So, but you appeal to their pride. You appeal to what, this is why you're here. We believe in you. Trust what we do. Trust the system, fellas. That's all we can do. Any other questions? Thank you.